Hello, welcome to our classes. I am Dr. K.K. Misra. This video tutorial is on descriptive questions and answers on managerial economics. This is part 8. Question number 27 to 29 in fact are covered here. Come to the question. Describe variable proportions production function in detail. यह क्वेश्चन इनफैक्ट आपके एग्जाम में पूछा जा सकता है। दो प्रकार के प्रोडक्शन फंक्शंस हो सकते हैं, that is variable proportions production function and constant proportion production function. Law of variable proportion is initially called law of diminishing return also. According to law of variable proportion, as more and more units of variable factors are combined with same quantity of fixed factors, total product first increases at increasing rate and then at diminishing rate and finally starts diminishing. It implies that marginal product फर्स्ट राइजेस एंड देन डिमिनिशेस इवेंचुअली। इस चीज के लिए आगे हमने कुछ डेटा लिया है, उसको आप लेकर के समझ सकते हैं। लॉ ऑफ वेरिएबल प्रोपोर्शन इज आल्सो नोन एज लॉ ऑफ रिटर्न्स टू अ फैक्टर। इट इज अ सॉर्ट ऑफ रन कॉन्सेप्ट। दिस लॉ इज आल्सो नोन एज लॉ ऑफ प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी, कीपिंग अदर फैक्टर्स फिक्स्ड। द लॉ एक्सप्लेन्स द प्रोडक्शन फंक्शन with one factor variable. In the short run, when output of a commodity is sought to be increased, the law of variable proportions comes into operation. Therefore, when the number of one factor is increased or decreased while other factors are constant, the proportion between the factors is altered. For instance, there are two factors of production, say for example land and labor. Initially say that land is fixed factor whereas labor is variable. Now suppose we have a land measuring 5 hectares. We grow wheat on it with the help of variable factor, say labor. Accordingly, the proportion between land and labor say will be 1:5. If the number of laborers is increased to 2, the new proportion between labor and land will be 2:5. So due to change in the proportion of factors, that will also emerge a change in total output at different rates. This tendency in the theory of production is called the law of variable proportion. So there are definitions of law of variable proportions by different economists have been given here. Assumptions. There are certain assumptions which are important. That constant technology means like जैसा कि हमने कहा कि one factor हम variable करते, others we presume to be constant. Factor properties are variable, homogeneous factor units. Now in short run इस डेटा को हम देख सकते हैं। अगर आप यहाँ देखें तो there are 3 stages. Initially marginal product is greater than average product. एक ऐसा टाइम देखिए 30 पर at labor unit 4 average product is equal to marginal product. But in the third stage marginal product is 0 and total product is maximum. Third stage marginal product starts diminishing. तो इस डेटा को देख करके जो कि यहाँ पर दिखाया गया है, आप समझ सकते हैं क्या वो 3 स्टेजेस हैं। So whatever I spoke here, that is the explanation of data that you can understand on your own, and the same has been depicted here in a different way. Now the 3 stages जो कि हमने डिफाइन किया, इनफैक्ट बताया गया, फर्स्ट स्टेज, सेकेंड स्टेज, थर्ड स्टेज, ये उसी का एक्सप्लेनेशन है। तो आप अपने तरीके से इसको समझ सकते हैं, पढ़ सकते हैं, बिकॉज आफ्टर ऑल यू हैव टू राइट दिस इन योर एग्जामिनेशन। सेकेंड स्टेज, थर्ड स्टेज। नाउ लॉज ऑफ प्रोडक्शन. देयर आर 2 लॉज ऑफ प्रोडक्शन. वन law of returns to scale and another one law of returns to a factor. In the long run, all factors inputs in the production function can be changed. The behavior of output consequently change in the quantities of all factor inputs in the same proportion, keeping the factor proportions unaltered is known as returns to scale. In other words, returns to scale is the degree of responsiveness of output to a proportionate change in the quantity of all inputs. Returns to scale may be in 3 types. One, increasing returns to scale, where proportionately the output increases at increasing rate. constant returns to a scale where proportionately the output increases at constant rate. Diminishing returns to a scale proportionately the output increases at diminishing rate. Now returns to a factor, this has been explained in the above question in detail. Here one factor varies and all others are presumed to be constant. The same increasing returns to a factor, constant and diminishing returns to a factor, the three laws are applicable here. This has been explained earlier. Now, how are prices determined in a monopoly market? Explained. As in the case of perfect competition, pricing and output decision under monopoly are based on revenue and cost conditions. The cost conditions, average cost and marginal cost, are the same for both perfect competition and pure monopoly. The difference is basically in the revenue conditions, AR and MR curves. This is so because unlike the competitive firm, a monopoly firm faces a downward sloping demand curve. A monopolist can reduce its product price and sell more and raise its product price and still retain some customers. When a demand curve flows downward, the associated marginal revenue lies below the average revenue curve and the slope of MR curve is 2 times the slope of AR curve. This is to be noted specifically in case of monopoly market. ये आगे कर्व के रूप में आपको डिफाइन किया गया है. अगर आप यहाँ देखें, so marginal revenue curve is always below AR and this is in fact the double. The revenue and cost conditions faced by a monopoly firm in the short run are presented here in this figure. So यहाँ पर अगर आप देखें कंडीशंस तो वही रहेगी प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन की, दैट इज मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू शुड बी इक्वल टू मार्जिनल कॉस्ट एंड प्रॉफिट रेंज, यहाँ पर जो शेडेड रीजन है वहाँ पर प्रॉफिट रेंज आपको दिया हुआ है. अब इसी प्रॉफिट रेंज में ही एक मोनोपोलिस्ट को प्रॉफिट कमाना है. सो मोनोपोलिस्ट के पास में, जैसा कि अभी एक्सप्लेन किया गया पहले, प्राइस कम करके भी वो ज़्यादा रेवेन्यू कमा सकता है, हेंस ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट ले सकता है, या प्राइस कुछ बढ़ा करके भी कुछ इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड कंडीशंस को, जहाँ जो इनइलास्टिक प्रोडक्ट्स हैं उनके केस में ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट कमा सकता है ज़्यादा प्राइस चार्ज करके. So this is basically in the short run. In the short run, average and marginal cost curves are represented by SAC and SMC curves respectively. The price and output decision rule for a profit maximizing monopolist is the same as that of a firm under perfect competition. जैसा कि हमने बताया, the profit maximizing monopoly firm chooses a price output combination at which MR is equal to, in short run, marginal cost, that is MR is equal to MC. Given the monopolist's cost and revenue curves in the figure, its MR and SMC intersect each other at point E. An ordinate drawn from point E to the x-axis determines the profit maximizing level of output of the firm at Q. At this output, firm's MR and is equal to SMC. Given the demand curve AR is equal to D, the output Q can be sold in a given time at only one price P. It follows that the determination of output simultaneously determines the price for the monopoly firm. For any given price, the unit and total profits are also simultaneously determined. This defines the equilibrium condition for the monopoly firm. So this was all about this particular video tutorial. I hope that you have liked it, and if you have liked it, please do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel R Classes and press the bell button and pass it on to others, those who are needy now and in the future. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Best of